Hey, how are you? I am hopping on here quickly to do this live. Those of you that are new to me, welcome. My name is Beverly Walthour. I am a business strategist specifically for Christian female coaches who want to create more income and more impact without compromising their Christian values. I'm also a TV and radio show host, so we film and record the TV and radio show here in Atlanta, GA. So you guys, as you come on into whether or not you're watching me live, as you come on into the room, say hi, hello, hey. Those of you that are watching me on the replay, type in hashtag replay, leave your questions, your comments. You guys come on in. And so you guys, if you hear a noise, it might just be my little bracelet here. I like my little bracelet. So if you hear that little sound, that's what it is. Let me know if it's annoying and I can take it off. But you guys, I wanted to have this conversation. As I've told you guys before, for the month of April, I'm doing what I call my prayer and productivity sessions with my paid clients, the clients, my coaching clients. And so something that was brought up today, and I said that I wanted to come on here and talk about this today. You guys, hey, thank you so much for joining. And so I told them, hey, you know what? I'm going to do a live about this topic. How are you, Anitris? Hey, Takessa. And so I wanted to kind of bring this to the forefront and kind of have this conversation with you guys. Once again, you guys know that I talk specifically to Christian female coaches. Hey, Robin, come on in. And so you guys, this right here made me think, just a couple of things. So one of the young ladies that was a part of the prayer and productivity session, she was talking about the fact that she's closed a nice little five-figure contract, multi-five-figure contract. And so she's been using that time together with us doing our prayer and productivity sessions. She's been using that time. Hey, Carissa, she's been using that time to work on the training that she's going to do for the company. And so she was like, I didn't think it was going to take me as long as it is to do this training. And so one thing that made me think about, and this is part of, us preparing for our overflow. And this is why I'm always talking to you guys about your pricing. Hey, Cassandra, I'm always talking to you guys about pricing. So, because a lot of times, because of who I serve, I know you guys, the level of integrity and the level of excellence in which you operate. Like, you're not just going to put mess out there. Like, you're not going to represent God like that. You're not going to represent your business and your brand like that. So you're going to make sure that you put out quality work. And for a lot of you guys, that quality work, it may take some time. Even if the first time it may take you a while to do it. And then after that, it may not take as long. It still took your time, your expertise, your skill set, because you want to make sure that you know the needs of the audience in which you're delivering that content to, that coaching to, that consulting to, what that speech to, whatever it is that you're doing, the training, the workshop, whatever it is. You want to make sure that you're delivering quality content. And so you want to make sure that the part of that, your price point reflects that, because the time that it's taking you to prepare for that, that means that you can't do something else in your business. You can't, you're not coaching during that time. You're not training during that time, so on and so forth. So you want to make sure that price point wise, it's on point for that. So that's why that's one of the things that I'm always stressing to my people, to make sure that your pricing is in alignment. So that way it accounts for that time. So even for a lot of you guys preparing for your overflow, for some of you guys, you're going to have to go back and look at your pricing structure. Like, just ask this question, or ask yourself this question. And this is a question that the ladies in my accelerator, we brought this question up a couple of weeks ago. And so one of the accelerators was like, well, man, I asked, what would happen if today? So you guys ask yourself today, all of you guys that are on here live and listening to the replay, think about in terms of overflow. So if today you had 10 people reach out to you about your services, would you be able to handle those 10 people reaching out to you? So whether or not they reached out to you via messenger, or they scheduled a call with you, they used the contact form that was on your website. So if you had an influx of people that were interested in your services like that, would you be able to handle that overflow? If you had 20 people that reached out to you, because you guys remember the God that we serve, legit, he can turn something around in your business, actually in the next minute if he wanted to, but in the next 24 hours, your business can look completely different. But is your business set up in such a way to handle that overflow? Now, am I saying to go out and buy all a bunch of stuff today? No. But what I am asking you is, have you sat down and planned this out and said, okay, guys, these are the people that I would love to have on my team. Like, this would be my dream team of people to have. These would be the systems that I would want to have in place. This would be the software that I would love to have, if I had this number of people that were either my clients or on my team, so on and so forth. Sometimes you want to just pause and go back through. I call it counting up the costs, going back to scripture, writing the vision and making it plain. Write that stuff down, write it out, get it out of your head and onto paper, and write that dream list down. So once again, the dream list when it comes to building your team, the dream list of the type of software you would love to have, that type of thing in your business. Once again, preparing for your overflow. Another thing, so that was one client. The clients too. Another client, she's in my sales sprint. And so one of the things that she brought up, and actually two of them that are in the sales sprint, they brought up the fact that, hey, I have to serve the clients that I have. So they have to do fulfillment, and they still have to have pieces in place to be able to, do their lead generation. Have some of you guys thought about that? Some of you guys are praying for clients, but the question is, are you prepared for you to have to be able to deliver? Because some of you guys have deliverables that you have to actually give people. So those of you that are like book coaches, for instance, and you're helping people to actually get their book written, there are certain deliverables that you have to get out there. So whether or not it's you getting it out there or people on your team, have you thought about how you're going to handle the deliverables, the things you have to get out to your people? You still have to show up and coach, because it's still the coaching stuff you have to do. And then there's still your lead generation piece. Have you thought about how you're going to slice and dice it so that you're able to do those things? And I know even for myself, especially last year in 2020, where once again, we're in the midst of a pandemic and everybody else is like, oh my goodness. And I have this influx of people and clients that are coming in. And I legit, from the coaching, from the TV and radio show, because I still had to do that. You guys, I'm telling you, so you have to look at your responsibility. Some of you guys, you have family. Some of you guys are still working. Some of you guys have community commitments. Have you thought about how you're going to slice and dice this stuff so that you can ensure that you're able to fulfill? Because one young lady, she was upset because she wasn't able to deliver something by a deadline that she had to one of her clients. And so once again, that's what made me ask, do you have it planned out, what your days look like? Like, do you have certain hours of the day where you have dedicated to where you work on client deliverables? Or do you have a certain day that you have that set? Do you have a certain day where you only do coaching calls or consulting things? So that way, those days are dedicated. And like I said, hey, Phoenix, hey. So some of us, we haven't thought about that. Once again, we are just so laser focused on having the clients come in. God, I just need clients. God, just need clients. God, give me clients. God, what the clients? God, da. But for some of us, I strongly encourage you to start preparing for this overflow before the overflow is fully here. Because when God turns on that faucet and those clients flood in, you already have, okay, boom, I already got this in place. So once again, when they click on this link, I know they're going to go here. Or if they message me, I know it's going to go here. Hey, I got this person on this team that's going to be able to handle this. I have this person. You see what I'm saying? Like having that set out to be able to handle it. So Carissa asked, what's my solution? I literally have set days. So for me, I have certain days that I do sales calls. So, hey, if you want a sales call, it's only on this particular day. I do my coaching on certain days. So Tuesdays and Thursdays are usually my coaching days. So those are the days that I have set aside for coaching. So for me, I have them segmented by days. And then once again, the prayer and productivity sessions that I do, that is my time for lead generation. So I make sure I have carved out at least an hour a day. So I know at least for 1 hour a day, I have lead generation things that I have set in place. So that way I know that there are new leads that are always coming in. Even if I don't have a program that's open. So right now I'm getting ready to shut down my 10K intensive. And so right now, if they don't get into that, the next time that they're going to be able to get in is June. But I know that I'm going to come across some people between now and June that are going to be interested in the 10K. And so the thing is, I have to have ways to nurture them. I have to have solutions for them while they're quote unquote waiting for the next round. There are people that will have wait lists, so you can put your people on a wait list. You can have, and some people it's paid. Like in order for you to get on this wait list, you need to pay a fee. So we know that you're serious about entering into the next round. So you really and truly want to look at your schedule and see, does it make more sense for you to block out time in your day, or does it make more sense for you to block out days in your calendar? that type of thing. So for me, it makes it easier for me to block out certain days. So like Mondays are my admin days and my sale call days. So I know on those 2 days, that's what I'm doing. Now, once again, do I tweak things just depending upon what's going on? Yes, I do. So for instance, when I ran the challenge a couple of weeks ago, I knew I had to tweak certain things. So I ended up being busier over the past 2 weeks because I knew that I had people that I was doing conversations with, so on and so forth. But generally, my schedule is pretty much set. But once again, I do have flexibility there to be able to wiggle around when I need to. There we go. So Phoenix, yep, she said, yes, the overflow has been overwhelming. I had to implement a completely new strategy to manage. Now I'm teaching my mastery group this strategy. And so you guys, like I said, you want to prepare. Now, will you be 100% fully, totally ready? No, but at least you will have some pieces in place to be able to help you in the overflow. And so Phoenix's comment reminded me of one client that I had in one of my boot camps I used to do. And so she said the same thing. She was like, whoa, I was not prepared for the inflow and the overflow of clients. And she said it was impacting her home life, like the time she was spending with her kids. Like she had to put some systems in place. And so that's why I encourage you guys. And that's why I'm doing this message today, to kind of encourage you guys as we move into a weekend. My thing is, you know, a lot of us, we take the time and we spend the time asking for more clients, more consulting, more contracts, so on and so forth. But my thing is, I would challenge you guys this weekend to ask the Holy Spirit, okay, Holy Spirit, what are we going to do? What is it going to look like? Not if the clients come in, but when the clientele comes in, how do we want to do this? What will this look like? What will make the most sense for me and my business and the way that I'm set up and my family, all of that stuff. And having boundaries is going to be even more critical when these clients come in. So even now, that's why I say prepare yourself now. Don't wait until the overflow comes in. Prepare yourself now for when it does come in. I'm telling you, it's going to make a huge difference. So start preparing now. Like I said, that's why I said, you know, make that list of people that you want to ensure that you have on your team. Once again, make that list of, okay, am I going to do this by the day or am I going to do this by the hour? Make sure you have things built in for the fact that, hey, I'm going to have to fulfill. So once again, actually show up and do the coaching. Like I said, for some of you guys, depending upon what you do as a coach, there may be certain things you have to actually get out to your clients, or what we call deliverables, and then still being able to have things where you're doing lead generation, that type of thing. And so once again, what may work for one person may not work for another person. So you want to make sure that you have something that works for you. And so I know for me, and actually someone reached out to me over on Instagram. And so she was talking to me and she asked me, well, hey, do you have a sales team? You know, do you do your own sales calls? And so I know that there are coaches and there are companies and stuff out there that actually have a sales team and have other people to do their sales calls. I told her, for me, I prefer to do my own sales calls. But for you, that might be something that you would want to have. Like you may want to have a sales team. So go ahead and write that out on your list of things that you desire to have in your business. Once again, it's different for everybody. So you don't allow somebody to say, well, hey, that doesn't make sense. You should be out there doing da-da-da-da-da-da. No, you know yourself and what your strong points are and your strengths and all that stuff like that. And that's fine. That's why I say, don't ask these other people, ask the Holy Spirit. That's who you need to be consulting with first. Some of us, we go to other people first, and then we go back to the Holy Spirit, do it in reverse. So like I said, those things that may help, you in your business, that type of thing. But I've been had my dream list of people that I wanted to have on my team and all of that stuff. And so you definitely want to make sure, start thinking about those things now. If you haven't been doing it, if you've done it before, for whatever reason, I feel like some of you guys need to go back and revisit the list that you may have had before. Go back and revisit that list of the things that you wrote down when it came to even like the vision of your business. For some of you guys, once again, because you need to be reminded. You need to be reminded of the conversation that you had with God about your business. So go back and revisit whatever you have written down. Go find it, dig it out, whatever journal, what you typed up, whatever it is. So whoever that's for, I don't know who it is. Whoever that's for, go back and dig it back out. Go back and remind yourself, because God didn't forget. He didn't forget. So go back and remind yourself about the conversations that you've had. Once again, if you've written these lists out, like I said, the people that you would love to have on your team, that type of thing. One of my clients, I had to tell her, go write. I need you to go out and write a job description. or who you want to have on your team. So not only did she have her list, but she's starting to write out the job description of what it is and, you know, the qualifications, so on and so forth, that she needs to have and the people that she's bringing onto her team, that type of thing. So like I said, do it. If you haven't done, well, babe, I'm not there. Well, do you plan on ever getting there? Don't you plan on being there? So once again, go ahead and start preparing now. Go ahead and start preparing for those things now. So you guys, these are just a couple of things that you can start to do to prepare for the overflow that will come into your business. And so once again, because the thing is, when you start looking at that and you start planning for the overflow of the clients, for you building your team, the systems and the things you want to make sure that you have in place, that is going to accelerate those things actually happening. So you want to go ahead and, like I said, either start planning for it now if you have not already done so. If you have already done so, now is the time for you to go back and revisit those plans. Some things you might have to adjust and tweak, so on and so forth. But that should be a living, breathing document type of thing. That shouldn't just be a one-time thing that you did and then toss it to the side. That is something that is living and breathing, that type of thing. So go back out there and revisit it. So you guys, that's all I have. Once again, go through, spend some time this weekend. If you have some time, carve out some time. If you don't, just dedicate some time. It's like, okay, God, okay, Holy Spirit, what we get ready to do? Because remember, this is your business. God, this is your business. And I know you did not call me to be a solopreneur, that type of thing. And so Carissa, oh, cool. So Carissa said, what about timing to bring on your dream team before or as you get clients? And so Carissa, is going to depend on who it is that you have in your, you know, what it is that you're believing for in your business. So for me personally, one person that I had almost on my team from the very beginning was a virtual assistant. Like I had that person on before I even had that consistency in the cash flow. And some of you guys looking like, man, what? But remember, I started my business while I was still working. And that was just an expense that I had added on when it came to my household type of thing. And because remember, the job I had was paying for the business. And so for me, I knew I needed someone to assist me in things. Because you guys, I'm going to be real. I need you guys to hear me. Some of you guys about to freak out a little bit. But there were just certain routines and things that I was doing that I'm like, God, You know, so for instance, if there was something that I had that was consistently going out in my group, say for instance, and it was something that I did not want to have. Well, let me back that up. So say for instance, was something consistently that I wanted to have going out into my Facebook group. Why should I have to load that into my Facebook group? Why should I have to spend time? And so whether or not it was me just manually putting it in, and back then, Facebook, they didn't have that scheduling feature. So I needed a third-party app to do that. So why should I spend my time? And I need you guys to hear me. Listen to what I'm saying. That time that it was taking me to spend to load this content into my scheduler that I was using back then, I'm like, God, is this really a good use of my time? Or can I hire someone to come in and load that content in there? Can I hire someone to come and welcome the people into my group? You see what I'm saying? There were certain graphics and stuff like that. So it really and truly, Krista, depends on what it is that you're doing and whatever, you know, what that task or that activity is. And so for me, it was before I had consistent client flow coming in that I just had certain people who were on my team. Another thing for some people, like I didn't hire my first social media person in my business probably until this is year 5, probably 3 years in. And that was because for me, I needed to make sure that my messaging was on point first, because some of you guys are trying to hire people to come in and create content and stuff for you when you're not clear on who it is that you serve. So what kind of content are they going to post? They're only going to be able to post what you give them. And so if what you're giving them is unclear, that all they can do is post what you're giving them. So even for me, when it came to hiring a social media person for my business, I had to get that clarity first. I had to be super crystal clear before I hired someone to come in and now, you know, try to quote unquote mimic my voice and be able to help create content based on what it was that I was putting out there. So it really and truly depends. The same thing. Some of you guys, you know, you're trying to run ads to stuff. You're trying to hire Facebook ads people and all that stuff like that. But you're still not clear on who you serve and the results you help people get. So what are they going to run ads to? They can only run ads to whatever it is that you're giving them. Some of us are expecting these people to perform a miracle, and they can't. They can't. So that type of thing. So like I said, I do strongly encourage at least a virtual assistant to bring someone on to kind of help you, and being crystal clear on the task and the stuff like that that you want people to support you with. Those of you other pieces or other people that you can bring onto your team. Some of you guys, because you may have a community like a Facebook group community or a LinkedIn community or whatever. So you may need someone to help you, help provide you with support in that area. So it's all these different little things that you can have, but you certainly kind of want to look at your business and what's going on with your business and kind of determine who should I hire first type of thing. And so Cassandra said, sometimes you have to trust God and know that he didn't give you a business and not provide. And Cassandra, that's the thing. Like, that is something that I'm always talking about. Like, God knows the definition of a business. And some of you guys, you need to go read the IRS's definition of a business. But the thing is, he knew that you had a business. And so once again, he knows that the clientele has to be a part of your business. Once again, for a lot of you guys, you were not designed to be a solopreneur forever. So he knew that you were going to also have to build a team and have people as a part of your team, that type of thing as well. So those things as well. So like I said, it is not like I'm telling everybody to go out there and start just hiring people all willy-nilly. No, but I do want you to start thinking about who you want to have on your team and why you feel like that person needs to be on your team and what capacity will they be able to support you, that type of thing. I love that. Sandra said, I call this having corresponding actions that line up with my faith. Exactly. Hey, God, okay, I'm believing you. Okay, God, you told me to do this right here. So this is what we get ready to do. That type of thing. So just kind of having that thought process and making sure that, once again, like I said, you're sitting down and counting the cost. And then also, you're writing the vision and making it plain type of thing. So kind of looking, okay, God, this is the type of business that you said we were creating. These are types of people that I would love to have on my team. This is how much I would love to be able to pay them. That type of thing, that you have going on. Why not? Go ahead and let God know what it is. Hey, God, this is what I'm believing you for. This desire, this possibility, this desire. Hey, you've given me the desire of my heart. I'm just saying, this came from you. So let's go ahead and rock and roll and make this thing happen. And so I'm telling you, go ahead, start preparing for your overflow. And then watch what you start to see coming to you. Because once again, I really feel like for some of us, God is just waiting. Like he's just on the throne like this, just rocking. Like, I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait until she starts tapping in and start asking me for what it is that she wants. That type of thing. And I'm going to leave you guys with this because it's just popped up in my spirit when I said that. So my prayer partners and I have two prayer partners and we talk Monday through Friday. And so a couple of scriptures that have really hit us has been, I can't remember the first one. I want to say John 5:5 or John 5:6 about the man that was lying beside the water. And then today it was, oh my goodness, of course I can't remember. Let me see what the other one was for today. And this was about the blind man that was beside the road. And so both of those times, Jesus asked both of those people, what do you want? And so the thing is, Jesus clearly saw this one man is laid out by the water. He clearly saw what was going on. He clearly saw that there was a blind man. He clearly saw that he was blind. So technically, Jesus could have walked up to both of them and touched them and kept it moving, right? But for both of those people, he asked. And those people had to tell him what it was that they wanted. The same thing. Tell them what you want. And then by faith, they were healed. So the same thing, put your faith in this. God, this is what I'm believing you for when it comes to my business. Let him know, tell him what it is that you want. And like I said, just watch how this stuff starts to happen in your life and in your business type of thing. So I'm like, well, God, you told me. Look, you asked, I'm telling you, this is what I want. Walking in that power and authority that we have access to as believers. That type of thing. Okay? You guys, that's all I got. So once again, start planning for that overflow. Don't wait for it to happen and then start scrambling around. No, let's be proactive versus reactive. Let's be proactive about this day. Spend some time this weekend, like I said, writing it out, the list that you want, the people that you would love to have on your team, how much you would love to pay them, that type of stuff, their duties and responsibilities. All of those things, write that stuff out. Once again, making sure even your customer journey, that type of thing as well. What would you love to have? Do you have certain days where you're going to serve your clients, where you're doing your coaching on those certain days? The other days, you're going to make sure that it's lead generation, like however you decide to do it. But go ahead and start thinking about those things. Because as you said, last month I hired a social media management company, which was a big leap of faith. Now God is birthing something that has blown my mind. Looking forward, and I can't wait for this announcement. Yes, and yes. I can't wait for the announcement to get on out here too. I love it. So you guys, I'm telling you, and that's another thing, once again, that importance of surrounding yourself with other believers. So when you see and hear the things that they're doing and all that stuff, and how God is literally showing up and blowing minds and all of that stuff, all of that. Emma said, faith for me equals deep breath, step out, and expect the road to rise up to me. I love that, Emma. So many of us, we're like, okay, I got to plan on everything. God, I got to see everything before I take this step. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I love this. Take a deep breath, take that step, and expect it. Woo-hoo-hoo! I love that formula. I wish a lot more of us as believers would do that. Trust in God, take that step, take that leap of faith. I remember one coach I used to follow when I first came into the online space. She said, take that leap of faith and trust that the person that you will become will catch you. I'm like, take that leap of faith and trust that God will catch you, because he will. He will. He will. He will. It's all about your heart and your intentions, and not just you running out and doing something and then expecting him. But hey, have that conversation. God, this is what I think you need me to do, Father. Get quiet. Listen to, ask him a question. Get quiet. Listen to what it is that he says. Get into his word. Hear him in his word. Sometimes people will come and confirm what it is. All of that stuff. I'm just saying. All right, you guys, this is what my third close. You guys, for real, I'm ready to go for real. So you guys, once again, I pray you have an absolutely amazing rest of your day. Have an amazing weekend. Once again, spend some time with God this weekend, just dreaming, going to him, showing him, talking to him about the big dreams that he's giving you when it comes to your business, and watch what starts to happen. Watch what starts to spring up in opportunities and all of that stuff. You have this conversation with him, and then all of a sudden somebody pop up in your news feed, or somebody gives you a call or something like that. Someone comes and speak to you about a thing. Just watch. Allow him to actually do that. Allow for him to actually show up and show out in your life like that. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you guys on the other side of this live. Take care, take care, take care.